Tami, you can join us? All right. Here you go. All right. I think we're live. All right. We can get Tami to come in here and visit with us. Get the mic. Okay. See if we've got any questions coming up. Can anybody hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, there we go. We've got some people up there. Good. I need some glasses now. Nothing like being prepared.
Need glasses?
Yeah.
I think there's some in that.
There's a pair. Yeah. Okay. Good. See these? These are Chinese glasses.
And let me tell you where the majority of them are. Underneath his bed by the headboard, because he loses them, sleeps with them on. There's probably 30 of them under his bed.
Well, they're about $1.50 a piece, so if you lose a few, it just doesn't matter, which is the great thing about it. All right, let's have a look what we've got going here. We've got Frenchy Frenzies from KC's with us. Good to have you here. Fast Forward Mum's always here. We're doing well. Rainy French Bulldog says hi. Rhonda Lee's with us. Nova Frenches says, hey, James. Paper Trail is here. Richard Martin says audio is good. Okay, so it looks like we've got a few people on board. And before we get started on this, hit the like button. We'd appreciate that. Muhard Ingram's with us. Good to have you with us. Hit that like button. So a few of you have done that already. We appreciate that, but more of you could do it, and it helps us out. So I don't really have a topic I was going to talk about to start with. We do that, Tami? Oh, Tami's taking my tray away. But I did want to start. But I had a person today who'd got a puppy that they thought was a good, a 2-day-old puppy that they were worried about, and so the question is, I want people to answer what they think the best way to tell whether a puppy's doing okay. You've got a puppy that's 1 day, 2 days, 5 days old, right? How can you tell very quickly if that puppy is probably, you don't have to worry about it? What is the thing that you do? There's a question for you. Let's see what answers we get. Nacho Line. Is 1 week too soon to worry about flat chest puppies? Yeah, probably. So the deal with flat chest puppies is what you typically see is it's larger puppies in a litter. You've got a litter where you've got, well, a larger puppy is the one that typically gets the flat chest. So, that's typically the situation for that is you've got, by the way, somebody just answered the question well. We'll get to that in a moment. I think I've got to get one. Yeah. So flat chest puppies typically start showing up when puppies start to get up on their feet. That's the point you need to start worrying about this. So before that, 0 to 10 days old, eyes are opening up around 10 days. They're getting up on their feet about that time. That is the time you start to see this. And what you're going to see is it's the bigger, fatter puppies, especially in small litters where there's not a lot of competition, there's lots of milk. Those puppies just stay drinking milk all day long, and they get fat and lazy, and they don't have to really compete with the other puppies. And the next thing you know, they've got this flat chest. And you can tell the flat chest because if you look at the profile of the dog, it should look like this, more rounded. It'll be flat like this. And you can actually put your hand there, and you can compare it with the other puppies and see that it's flat. That puppy needs to get legs taped up and or a flat chest kit ASAP. And the taping of the legs up is a free thing that you can do. You always should do it. But the flat chest, we have flat chest kits now that you can put around the puppy, and basically what it does is it gives it an area that's, well, I'll show you one here in a little bit. But the answer is probably not at 5 days, but keep an eye on it. If it's obviously different than the other puppies, then that's when I would get concerned. All right. And Natural Line says, and my mama dog just started snapping at me. I didn't take that lightly. Right, so that's another one that came up this last week, because I had somebody who had a dog that was actually, I think it was a Chihuahua. the small dog, and it was being very aggressive, not towards the other puppies, but more towards their owners. And when you see this aggression that you don't normally see in a dog that is just whelped or just about to whelp or is whelped in the last few days, think about eclampsia. So eclampsia is low calcium that is caused by milk production is taking calcium out of their bloodstream, and those dogs can go loopy. They can go into seizures, they can go into comas, they can die over it. You see this, I've never personally seen this in a French Bulldog, but you absolutely can see this in very small breeds like Chihuahuas. So pay attention to that. If you see a dog that's not normally being aggressive, one of the things I do right away is go get some Tums and give that dog some Tums. It's not the best way of treating it. The best way to treat this would be going to the vet, getting blood drawn. They do a calcium score on the dog and see what, and then you give a calcium by IV. And if a dog has got into trouble, that's exactly what you do. You don't muck around with this. If a dog's having epileptic fits, not epileptic fits, but seizures, basically. Losing my voice. I mean, pulling drywall down, and that drywall's gone to my throat, and I need to get some water to drink. I'm going to sound like RFK. He talks like this when he's talking about vaccines. No, it's still there. I'm going to have to get a drink. This is wine. It's not really the best thing to treat a dry throat. Let me get a glass of water. No, I think it's going away. There it is. All right, my voice has come back. Yeah, it's starting to sound like RFK. By the way, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I'm a firm believer in vaccinations. So anyway, we don't want to get to politics because the sad thing about it's like politics and religion. Those are the two things. If you start talking about it, you're going to upset at least half of your audience immediately. So the general advice on this is that the only time that you ever bring up either politics or religion is when somebody has asked you about it. Otherwise, you're potentially going to step on a grenade. And I don't want to step on a grenade. All right. So I asked a question about what you should do to tell if a puppy's doing okay. And here's the answer we've got. First person said, Frenchie says, wait, suckle, warmth. That's it. So stick your finger in its mouth and see if it's warm and wet with a good suckle. That is exactly it. Good for you. You can tell us so much about a puppy by just sticking a finger in its mouth. It doesn't have to be, it can be, we've got puppies now that are 6 weeks old. They'll do the same thing. They will start suckling away, and then you can feel if they're warm, and you can feel if they're moist. And if you've got those three things, I about guarantee that puppy's doing absolutely fine. So let's see what other people said. I had a couple of people answered that, and you got it absolutely right. So the other things would be, there are more complicated answers would be, has the puppy been gaining weight? Is it breathing okay? Is it nursing? Is it making whining noises? But a puppy that's fallen asleep or is suckling on mom, and you take it away from mom, you put a finger in its mouth, it starts suckling, and it's warm and it's moist. Bingo. That is probably, and I think that there's a lot, I'm sure a lot of the audience watching this now know that. But if you don't know that, then that's your best takeaway from today's 60 minutes. That's the one thing that, and again, the other thing about this is, look, in most cases, you've got more than one puppy, right? Make a comparison. Like, if you've got 5 puppies, is there one puppy that's acting definitely different than the others? If so, that's the one that you need to pay attention to. What do you do if you've got all 5 puppies? All 5 puppies are having problems. Then what do you do? So then you have to think about what is the cause of 5 puppies to not be doing well. So typically in those situations, it's going to be maybe lack of milk from mum, something going on parasite-wise, Toxicity, Giardia. Those things don't typically show up until puppies are at least a couple of weeks old. But getting cold, not getting food, those are the things that will do a puppy in a hurry, and that's the test, is to stick your finger in its mouth. Oh, let's have a look at questions here. How are we doing on subscriptions? Well, half of you picked up the subscriptions, the other half of you haven't. Well, not subscriptions, but thumbs up. More thumbs up, please. Nacho says, I only had 2 pups. The smaller one, chest feels rather smooth compared to her sister's. She has like a barrel-shaped roundish. Well, I mean, I think that, John Mallow says newborns can exhibit flat chest and need a flat chest kit quickly. Well, I don't disagree with that. So, look, I think I've got a flat chest kit here. I'll go get one here in a moment. I'll show you what they look like. You can order them from me. I've got rather a kind of a different one than some of the ones that you see. It's adjustable. You can put it on puppies in just a few seconds. You can take it off easily. And you cannot go wrong by treating this early. And it's not like antibiotics that you don't want to give antibiotics unless you know that the dog has some kind of a problem that needs antibiotics. With a flat chest kit, you're not going to do any harm putting a flat chest kit on a puppy. It's not like if he doesn't need it, it's going to hurt the puppy. It's not. So I think that what John Mallow says is probably right. Start early, not late. I have never, ever been in a situation I couldn't fix this. I couldn't fix this by either taping the legs up and or flat chest kit. Taping the legs up is not going to do much good on a 5-day-old puppy because he's not getting up on his feet anyway. So don't start putting the flat chest kit on until puppies are actively trying to. Some of the puppies are actually moving around. All right. So Nacho says, I made some hills, mountains, and terrain inside the incubator to help. Well, that's another good thing. I mean, I think what a lot of people do is they get these, I call them, foam, they're kind of dimply foam things, like egg crate. Maybe you call it egg crate foam. I'm not sure if that's the right terminology for it, but it's all bumpy. And so when the puppies lay on it, they've got some dips and valleys so they can not getting so much pressure on their chest. But I do like, the problem with, well, I think that a couple of things just to kind of keep on going with this. They need to have traction. Puppies need to be able to move around. Even puppies that can't walk yet will be moving around and they need to have traction. So if you put them on a slick floor, they will have a problem getting traction. So absolutely get traction. Then, some people swear on things like, rolled up in towels like this. That's fine. It can't do any harm. But I think really the right answer is if they're having problems, the moment they should be getting up at around 10 days old, take their legs up. And if you're having problems before or after that, flat chest kit. If anybody wants to add anything on that, do. Reigning French Bulldog says, at what age do you allow friends and family to come in and socialize with puppies? Well, that's a good question right there. I think I've had that one before. So I like, well, here's the issue. I've got a dog barking because she's not been let out yet. Here's the issue. There's a number of things that you've got to be careful about in introducing other people to your dogs. One is people carrying stuff in that can cause problems for your unvaccinated dogs. So the rule of thumb on that is everybody has to wash their hands thoroughly, right? If anyone's going to touch a puppy, you need to have washed hands. So that somewhat protects you against that. Then the next thing would be is, how is mum with this? You do not want to piss mum off, right? So a lot of mothers, they're accepting of you and, your spouse and maybe the kids who's been around, but a new person comes in and they can start barking and getting upset. So you don't want to get mum upset. So that's the other thing, is to see how this goes. So when can you start doing this? I mean, we typically don't let anybody start mucking around with puppies other than us until puppies have got their eyes open. And then even after that, we're careful. Then the other thing to be careful of is if you've got young kids coming in, they want to play with the puppies. And I understand that 100%. Make sure they're not going to drop a puppy. What we like to do is if you've got a youngster, a 4-year-old, get the 4-year-old out on a rug on the floor and put the puppy in their lap so that if the puppy gets dropped, it's only going to drop a few inches, not from a standing position of 4 feet. So just kind of, be prepared for the fact that youngsters can get little ones get pretty excited when they see puppies, and mums can get upset. Wash your hands, put it in a safe environment, and make sure mum's okay with it. Emily says, hey, James, I texted you about my 7-week-old Schnauzer who's only 1 pound. She's gaining an ounce a day. Liver shunt? If so, what do I need to do and when? Well, so at 7 weeks, she's 1 pound old. So that's pretty small. But you can go, so is it a liver shunt? It could be. So a liver shunt is where what happens is some of the plumbing from the liver is rerouted back to the liver. So you've got a loop, a shunt, where, because the liver is the thing that detoxes you. The thing of the liver is takes your blood supply and gets rid of all the nasty stuff that then gets passed on to the kidneys or the intestines, and it's either pooped out or peed out, right? That's what the liver does. Livers have an amazing ability to recover from some really bad situations. Now, people can lose half their liver and grow that liver back. It's one of the few organs in your body that can do that. It's also one of the things that can be really abused, like alcohol. Here I am drinking a glass of wine. Alcohol is one of the things that absolutely do a liver in. And if you do it enough, you can absolutely destroy your liver. So you've got this situation that possibly your dog is not thriving very well. You see this in young puppies where they've got a liver shunt. What can you do about this? And the answer is not a damn thing. You're not going to have surgery on a 3-5 day old puppy. All you can do is just give that puppy all the nourishment that it can take. And that might mean it's got to be an incubator. You might be tube feeding. You might have oxygen. All the things that you can do to get that puppy so the puppy's being okay, and then wait it out. Now, if you look at one of the puppies that we had here recently, Pixie, very small. She was so much smaller than her offspring. And I mean, I suspected there was something about maybe a liver shunt. The things that you see in these dogs is a liver shunt that just failed to thrive. You can have things like hydrocephalus, where they've got what we call water on their brain. Those dogs tend to have eyes that bulge out to the sides. They have big domed heads because they've got pressure into cranial pressure. But in both cases, there's nothing you can do except it's a waiting game. In a lot of cases, these dogs actually come through it and come out the other side fine. Pixie, for instance, I don't know that she had a liver shunt. We never had an ultrasound. We never got to an ultrasound. We were going to have an ultrasound done, and you just started putting weight on, and we didn't worry about it. And now Pixie's a year old and doing great. So it's not like it's a death knell for a dog, but there's not a lot you can do other than supporting the dog. All right. So WJ, let's make sure I've got here. Got that one. YG Stilo, that's a new name. Haven't seen you before, YG. Good to have you with us. What can help increase the litter size of a pregnant mum other than PG levels? Well, so we do. You get in there on a thumbs up. A few more thumbs up would be nice. Give me some more thumbs up, and I won't answer this question until I've got 2 more thumbs up. I'm just going to sit here until I get 2 more thumbs up. See if that works. Come on, thumbs up. There's a thumbs up. There it is. Good for you. Thank you. Whoever that was. So the question gets to be is how do you maximize litter size, right? And so there are about 3 or 4 things that are going to be a determined litter size. The first one is you can't, all you can do is fertilize all the eggs that are dropped, all the eggs that mama produces. You can't do any better than that, and that is some anecdotal evidence that says dogs that come from large litters tend to have large litters themselves. So that's the first limiting thing. You can't magically make more eggs. So your goal is to fertilize every single egg that mama has dropped. So then how do you do that? Well, the answer is you've got to get your timing right. That was the progesterone that you asked about. You've got to get your progesterone levels right. If you breed a dog too early in its cycle or too late, then you're not going to get a litter or you'll get a small litter. So, when is the right time? About 2 days after ovulation. But pinning ovulation can be difficult, and I'll talk more about this later on about a customer of ours who's using one of our stud dogs where the numbers are just going nuts. I'll talk about that at the end if we've got time. But the point here is number one, number of eggs that she produces, you can't do any better than that. Number 2 is get your timing right, which is probably the single most biggest place that people fail is getting their timing wrong. Number 3 is quality semen. Now, if you AI your dog with or mate to a dog that has poor semen or low semen count, you're not going to get good results. So The right thing to do would be to look at that semen. If you're going to do an AI, to look at that semen to make sure that it's motile and that it's got a decent amount of it. And then the third one would be technique. Get the technique right. If you go to the vet and your vet AIs the dog and takes about 2 minutes to put an AI rod in, AIs the dog and gives you the dog back, there's a very good chance that that semen you put in the dog is just going to dribble out the dog. So if you're in that situation, hold that dog's rear end up for a good 30 minutes. Make sure that the semen's gravity is going to make that semen go down from the vulva down into the uterus, and don't have that dog with its head up like this where everything can drop out of the dog. So technique, right? And then, of course, the actual pregnancy itself. You can mess the pregnancy up. You can mess up. How do you mess a pregnancy up? Well, things like pyometry and not getting on top of it would be one thing. Getting your timing wrong for a C-section would be another way you can lose a litter. All right, spend enough on that one. Paper trail, what are your thoughts on Frenchies with tails? Well, you do see this. I see this occasionally. I see quite often, not quite often, I'll see a litter where every single puppy in the litter has a long tail. And I do not like to see that at all. It's not, if you were in the show ring, you would not have a chance in the show ring with a Frenchie that had anything but a very short tail. A Frenchie should have a tail that you can grab hold of and feel, but should barely be able to see it. It shouldn't be sticking up. Dogs, when they get excited, their tail sticks up. On a French Bulldog, when it's excited, you should not see a tail sticking up. That's called a gay tail. And I've seen French Bulldogs that have got tails that are as long as my finger. What do you do in a situation like that? Well, I think the answer is you don't want to breed those two pairs together because it was a pairing that produced long tails. And so, although those dogs can function completely normally, cosmetically, it's not really what you want to see. So, not a fan of it. What can you do? Not breed back to that particular pair again. Breed back to different stud and see if the problem goes away. Tucson House of Frenchies, when we're talking about this flat chest, is towels. Yeah, I agree. We throw a towel down. What we do is we put a pee pad down and we throw a towel in there. And we don't smooth the towel up. We just throw the towel in there. Mum can do what she wants with it. Emily, let's see. Emily's got a question here. Oh, Emily says, we're keeping her. This is the 1 pound schnauzer at 7 weeks. So Emily says, we're keeping her. Any suggestions for down the line, like surgery? How do you know if it hasn't resolved itself? Thanks for your wisdom. Well, the first thing would be is you can do an ultrasound. And an ultrasound, I don't know what age you've got to be able to see the structure reasonably. When it's very, very small, it's going to be hard to see what's going on. But we had a dog that did have a liver shunt. We had an ultrasound done. It did have a liver shunt. We kept that. It was a male. We kept that dog until it was about 8 or 9 months old. We had a surgery done on the dog. The dog didn't survive the surgery. So it sucked for us, sucked for the dog. That's my only experience with that. So it's not been, you know, my phone? Hey, Tami.
Hey.
Tami's been looking after a baby at a
Party.
Birthday
party.
For
our son-in-law.
Yeah. How do we know that it's resolved itself? Because the puppy starts being completely normal, puts weight on, acts like all the other puppies. It might be small. Look at Pixie. Go look at the Pixie video.
Oh my gosh, she's doing fantastic,
isn't she? And
the owner likes to overfeed her.
So if you looked at Pixie now, what would you say about Pixie?
Oh, she's beautiful. She's perfect.
You wouldn't say she's anything but a normal Frenchie, just a small version, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect little dog. Yeah.
Runs and plays her heart out.
Yeah. Perfect little dog. Yep.
She's very loved. That was the most important thing.
Colleen says, given that delivering puppies can be quite messy, not quite, it is messy, yes. What do people find works best to manage that? I.e., do you use lots of newspapers or old towels and keep replacing them?
Use old towels from Walmart. That helps. Newspapers are kind of gross and it smells real bad. But old towels, those cheap towels that you can buy from Walmart, those white ones, those real thin ones, once you wash them, they get thicker. So I always suggest washing towels before you actually
Now, are you
use it.
Are you talking about when you go for a C-section? Or are you talking about natural birth?
I bet she's talking natural birth.
That's right, she is. So it's a bit different, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So I'm going to go back to the days we had labs.
Because she mentioned newspaper, and that's
Yep.
what we used to do. We
Yep.
did a refrigerator box
Yes.
that we fixed up for her to whelp in, and we just laid newspaper in there.
Natural delivery, right? So yeah, so here's
our Labradors,
so here's
not our Frenchies.
Yeah, on the labs we typically have 9 to 14 puppies in a litter, right? So it is a big mess because you've got all of this, after birth, amniotic fluids,
and those are big dogs. So
and the big dogs.
yeah.
There's a lot of it. So,
I don't know what size dog she's got that she's delivering.
But either way, I mean,
big dogs,
if you have
that's what
10
we
dogs
did.
and it's, you're going to have 10 pounds of stuff that's going to be nasty. You want to get rid of.
Was that 30 some odd years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like Tami says, we got a refrigerator box.
Yeah.
And we bust that thing up. So we had a physical container
Mhm.
that Mum could be in with some walls that were like 6 inches high,
Right.
and it was big enough that Tami could get in there with her.
Oh yeah.
Right. And so then we have I think towels are the best thing because you can wash towels.
Oh yeah.
I'm not crazy. I mean, newspaper's okay, but they're not very absorbent.
I tell you what's been real good about cleaning towels is the baking soda, vinegar, and bleach, along with the cleaner. I use the Tide pods, and that's been really good to get stains out. But the minute the sooner you can wash those towels, the faster you're going to get the blood and all that stuff off.
You know what? I have this magic.
And I use lots of baking soda, and it's real good for your wash machines too.
I have this magic laundry box. I don't know where it came from. I just put stuff in, that dirty stuff, in this magic laundry box, and they just show up cleaned up and folded, put on my shelves. I don't know how it happens. It's absolutely magical, isn't it? Well,
he's not funny.
I thought it was pretty funny. Anyway,
that's what he literally thinks too.
So I would say this though, it is going to get messy, and so I think that paper towels, paper towels fine, pick your stuff up. Have yourself some trash bags there so you can go get rid of the muck as it's produced.
Yes.
Every puppy that she produces is going to be a flood of amniotic fluid. Paper towels soak that up. Umbilical.
The trash bags for your dirty laundry too that you're using to clean that up. No,
so just get ready. It's going to get messy. It's going to get messy, and but nothing there that's particularly worrisome. But just All right. So enough on that one.
Now, last week somebody sent us money just as we ended the program.
Yes, they did. That was nice of them.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
was it G Frenchies or something like that?
Well, it was one of our people who always come to us, so that was nice of them. So,
and we didn't get to say thank you on there because we had just closed it, and it flashed up there, and James goes, "Oh, look, somebody sent us money."
Tucson House of Frenchies says
nice.
old towels are the best.
Yes,
we like old towels.
Are great.
Right.
I mean, shoot, you can go to a flea market or garage sales and pick up towels.
Here's one from Nacho Line. Feeding blueberries to your dog. Right now, first thing I'm going to say here is Nacho Line is absolutely solid. He gives good advice. All the stuff he says, almost always, I'm like,
yeah. You're fixing to cut him.
Yeah,
right here,
I know. It's like I said, feeding blueberries to your dog right before you breed also helps keep the dog eggs alive and don't get absorbed. I mean, how would you know that, Nacho? How would you know that's true? How would you possibly test for that?
Wouldn't hurt him.
I won't hurt them. Well, I mean, there's certain things you shouldn't give to dogs. I mean, I think
But I don't know if
grapes. Are grapes okay?
Is it for breeding? Did he say?
No, he says it keeps the eggs alive. He says, I'll read it again. Feeding blueberries to your dog right before you breed also helps keeps the eggs alive and they don't get absorbed. I don't know. I mean, it can't hurt. I mean, other than
I want to know where you got that information.
Yeah,
we'd like to look that up.
We're not trying to make
fun of it.
We're not trying to make fun of you.
Yeah. It sounds like you are.
Well, I know it is.
Shame on James.
Yeah, I mean, look.
Everybody give a thumbs up for shame on
That's
James.
What just said something. It just says. Look. I mean, I don't want to offend anybody, and I certainly don't want to offend Nutshline because look, everybody has a difference of opinion about stuff, right? That's one of those things that I think I don't think it's necessarily character, but maybe it is. Maybe there's a science. I want to see some double-blinded science paper that talked about it. All right.
James is all about proof in the pudding and Well,
Emily says we all feel your pain. Tammy over there shaking the head. I think it's what I was talking about.
yeah.
Yeah.
On the
Right.
clothes magically appear. That's what I ask James sometimes. I said, "Look, the laundry fairies showed up again."
Let's have a look here. Reigning French Bulldogs. When you know you are keeping a stud back from a litter of puppies, how long do you wait to see what the structure is looking like to know which one to keep back? I'm torn between two boys.
Yeah, male or female.
Too much stud.
I'm still debating about my female. I've got a certain couple that's once a week contacts me and wants to know, are you keeping that one female that you like so well? And yeah, I'm watching her as long as possible.
So I'm going to say this: if you've got two dogs and you're looking between one or the other one, you need to make a decision up now. And the reason for this is if you can't, if you if you can't
miss out a sale on both.
If you can't make a decision between two dogs, then they're damn so close it doesn't matter, right? And if you don't do that, you're going to miss out on a sale. So the best opportunity time to sell a puppy and find a new great home for a puppy is in the first 5-6 weeks of their life, not when they're 12 weeks old, right?
7 weeks would be cutting it.
Yep, exactly.
Because they go home at 10 weeks.
Yes, exactly. So
7.5.
So I would say,
7 to 8 weeks.
If
I'm getting longer here.
If you can't decide, look at their DNA. The one with the best DNA is the one you keep.
Exactly.
Right. If you
but that confirmation is important.
If there's a difference in confirmation, choose the one that matches your confirmation best.
It's so hard with the confirmation and the DNA.
Well, it's how many times have you got a puppy from somebody else, and then at a year old that you've decided that it's not quite what you want? How often does that happen? A shitload, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, right, exactly. Mm-hmm. So you're always looking for this.
But I mean, I'm just real picky.
Well, but we all are. We're all looking for this unicorn dog, right? We're all looking for that unicorn dog, and the problem is, do you have a unicorn dog right now?
No.
No, exactly. No. So you're looking at Beyonce and that litter as being potentially a unicorn dog, aren't you?
Yeah.
Do you think she'll be a unicorn dog?
No, there's always going to be one that'll come out that'll be way different.
Yes, but right now she's looking pretty special.
Yeah, because her confirmation so far has been staying pretty.
She doesn't have the best DNA in the litter, but she does close enough because the merle doesn't matter because you get the merle from another dog, so she's not a merle dog.
It's also the husky. She's not a husky.
Not a husky, right? Exactly.
But she is rojo and tan and carries pink, which is a
right, exactly.
Pretty nice dog.
So so that's a female.
Her confirmation's super nice. Her head's beautiful.
And the other thing I'd say about this is that if you're in a situation, and some people aren't going to like this, but if you're in a situation where you've got a dog that you're not sure whether you want it or not, price the dog high. Because that way you won't feel so bad when somebody comes and picks the dog up. And if you don't get the price that dog deserves, then you keep the dog. So you can do that too. All right.
My leg. I'm getting old.
National Line says another dog breeder that's a nurse vet does his research. Okay. And so I learned from multiple people. And that's exactly right. So I agree 100% with Nacho. So you have to go take advice from different people because, you never quite know what's right, what's wrong. And so what I do is I have my little bullshit meter that goes off when I hear something that I think that doesn't sound right. And I think, well, I'm going to do a little bit of research to see whether or not I can validate what I've been told because I don't want to miss out on an opportunity to learn something. And so this whole thing here that we're doing today, this whole hour we're spending together, is all about everybody learning something, right? That's what it's about. And so, I've learned something here today that I'm going to go look at because it's an interesting idea. All right. Frenchie Casey says, I love Beyonce too. What about me?
Yeah. I tell you, every phone call I've had on this litter, they want Beyonce. And she is just an awesome little puppy.
Well, I take umbrage with that. I mean, I think there's two other huskies are pretty cute little damn dogs.
Oh, yeah, they're already all spoke for.
Well, I know they are. I know that. And I don't want people watching this thing, I'm getting one of those dogs while I get the rubbish dogs. Not at all. No, they're nice. No. And in fact, the other two girls are smaller, and I like smaller dogs.
They're smaller, and they are definitely the husky, panda huskies.
And the panda huskies.
So, they're... And their new shade, Isabella. But
and one of them carries pink. Right.
For my eye appeal, that little Beyonce's.
Yep, right. So, yeah, all right. So, look, we're running out of questions here, and we're early on this. Everybody's dumping on us. Right, what do you want to talk about, Tammy?
No, they're not.
Well, we're a bit thin on people today. I'm not sure why.
Oh.
So Emily says, talking about the berries, they're super high on antioxidants. I could see it. Fair enough. Yep.
We need to do a deal on what dogs can eat and cannot eat, what's toxic to them, and things like that.
Well, I know what is toxic to dogs.
And what's good to them. Good
Snail
for 'em.
bait.
Oh, yeah.
Had that happen.
Yeah, chocolate too.
Yeah, chocolate. I mean, it's really small dogs that run into trouble with chocolate.
Not like, big dogs. They have to eat a pretty big amount.
Well, typically, most of the chocolate they're going to get into tends to be like milk chocolate the kids have got, and that's nowhere near.
But it can't. Oh,
it's cooking chocolate. It's the dark bits of chocolate.
A long time ago, when I had toy poodles, there was a little dog that got Halloween candy on the bed when the kids are looking at their stuff, and she took off with a chocolate bar apparently and ate the whole thing. And that dog was sick. She we gave her Gatorade.
Well, so
the vet told me give her Gatorade, put her in a room to herself, and I mean, you talk about slinging orange Gatorade everywhere from throwing up. And
well, how do you get the Gatorade?
She drank it.
So here's what. So I've got a video on this about poisons and what to do. So normally what you do is you give activated charcoal.
Oh yeah. Well, that was. James, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't know
that
this
was before Labradors. Yeah.
So activated charcoal. You can buy activated charcoal at Walmart. You can buy it at.
It had to be about 40 years ago.
Walgreens.
Tell my age.
Yeah, it's a dark black powder, and it is messy as all get out. And I've never done this, but I would imagine that you're going to have a fight getting that down the dog. I would think what you do is probably go get a feeding tube and make a slurry out of the activated charcoal and get it down to its stomach. Because I think without that, you're not going to get it to drink it. And it's going to be, I mean, it is messy stuff. But I mean, if you know that your dog has eaten some dark chocolate, then I think the thing to do is to try and figure out how much it's eaten so you can decide whether or not this is going to be really a big deal or not. Keep an eye on the dog. Get some activated charcoal down the stomach. And if you run into problems, you're going to have to go to the emergency room and emergency hospital and get its stomach pumped. But in most cases, with a bigger dog, a 30-pound dog that's eaten a chocolate milk bar, probably going to be okay. A Chihuahua that else ate half a pound of cooking chocolate, not going to be good. I don't know what the stuff is. Okay. So Raining Bulldog, talking about this dog. Both dogs are Big B, Little B, Little C, Little D, Little D. So they're lilacs, Big E, Little E, that carry cream and testable chocolate and they brindle their pine. The only difference is one is AA and one is fawn. Would you prefer fawn or solid? I'd much prefer the AA.
Yeah, the solid.
Yep. So here's the reason why. So you say fawn, I'm assuming it's fawn and not.
Or is it AYA?
Well, that's right.
AYAT.
Yes. So a dog that's AYAY is a fawn dog and can't produce tan points. A dog that's AA can produce both solid colors and 10 points. If you put that dog with an AT dog and you get ATAs, you get 10 points. I would definitely, wouldn't you?
But look at the confirmation too, though.
Well, that's the only difference she's talking about is with the AA versus the fawn. Which would you choose?
AA.
Yeah, me too. Exactly. Yep. There we go. We just help you make the right decision.
Okay. Next question. Taking too long.
Okay, natural line. Yes, half a garlic for 20 pounds is good. A natural dewormer, ticks and pests. I tried to get Tammy to take some garlic, but I think she's got this vampire blood in her. And
I love garlic.
Do you like garlic?
Are you kidding me? How long have you been married to me?
I was messing with you, Tammy, about thinking you were a vampire. Because I've been wearing these clothes of garlic all around my neck, worried I was going to get bit by you. Okay. Colleen says a toxicity list would be great as it would be good for you. I agree. So I do have a video on this, but not really on. I think we're going to put that one down. We're gonna
Mhm.
what? Let's just see what people know about which things are. We know about the chocolate.
Strawberries. Strawberries good for dogs.
Are they?
I don't. I'd have to look it up.
Some cheeses aren't.
Yeah, some cheeses
I
aren't.
know that Brie's not.
Yeah.
Surprising, isn't it?
Mhm.
You figure that if any cheese is okay, it'll all be
Is
okay.
cantaloupe any melons? Is that okay?
I think
Or
so. I think melons are fine. I think, but again, this is interesting.
yeah, it's weird how it goes. I don't know.
Well, something's going to be a hell of a lot more toxic than other things, right?
Keep on
I mean,
using my phone, so I can't look stuff up.
yeah. Sorry. Well, we're not going to answer that question now. We will do a
Well,
video on it.
maybe next week.
We'll,
Everybody get prepared. Do your
well, let's see.
homework
Let's
for
see if
next
let's
week.
see if what people say here. Let's see
Yeah,
if somebody comes
yeah.
up with things that's are definitely not good.
Cherries, are cherries okay? Yeah, of course you got to take the pit out.
Yeah. So Michael
I don't
Bryan says
know.
garlic is not good for dogs. So here you go. Here's Nacho saying that half is too much.
Do you
So
remember
I
the
don't,
cat that got a hold of? I had knocked over some garlic. I was doing some steaks outside on the grill, and the garlic, minced garlic got knocked over. Well, the cat ate it all up. Oh, you talk about throwing that up real quick. That cat did.
Well, that's one of the good things. That typically, when you as humans or pets or animals eat something that is toxic, they tend to throw it up.
Well, it's just like the Gatorade on that dog. When she drank it, she would throw it up.
So that's another thing is that, for instance, about one of the things you think you want to do is make a dog vomit, and the answer to that is it depends on what they've drunk. If it's something like bleach or something like that, you do not want to vomit because it burns going down, it burns coming back up. What the hell do you do if it? I mean, why a dog would eat much bleach just doesn't even sound reasonable. I mean, you think it would stop immediately, but anyway. Let's see. How much roughhousing with other pups is good for is good for a pregnant dog? Well, I'm going to answer this two ways. Roughhousing for puppies and roughhousing for pregnant dog. Cammy, roughhousing for pregnant dog. What do you think? Roughhousing. You've got a pregnant dog. She's roughhousing with the other dogs.
Well, it depends how far along she's in her pregnancy.
That's right.
If she's just beginning to be pregnant and she's used to roughhousing, then it's okay. But during her last 3 weeks of pregnancy, you probably don't want roughhousing going around.
So I would say this too.
Going on.
There can be two different forms of roughhousing. There can be roughhousing because they want to play, and can be roughhousing because they're pissed off, their hormones are high, or they're just not in a good mood. That's the one where somebody gets hurt. So if the dogs have not normally been roughhousing, start roughhousing, pay attention to it and don't let that happen. What do you think about dogs getting up on beds in the last 2 weeks of their pregnancy?
No, that's a bit, or the couch.
Because you got to remember that you've got these masses, these fetuses sitting in there, connected through an umbilical cord to the placenta, and if that placenta gets pulled loose, that puppy's not going to make it. A little bit of green fluid means a tear, but a lot means that puppy's in trouble. So
somebody's mentioned something about cow's milk. You always want to do goat's milk.
Yep,
it's more.
I was talking about toxicity.
Yeah,
Roy on down here.
Yeah.
So yeah, Nacho says cow's milk. See, Nacho's got it right now. He says Nacho is often bad for dogs because of the high lactose content, which can lead to digestive problems.
Goat's milk, goat's milk, goat's milk. Everybody, when they get a kitty, I want to feed this kitty some milk, and they give the cat cow's milk. No.
What about
goat's milk?
What about Espalac?
Even dogs.
What about Espalac?
It's okay.
It is
because it's goat's milk.
It's powdered goat's milk. That's what Espalac is. It's powdered goat's milk. So what would happen, do you think, if you gave a dog...
Even babies, goat's milk. I mean, goat's milk is good stuff.
I think there's lots of humans who get goat's milk rather than cow's milk, and I think that people with lactose intolerance do much better on goat's milk. So what do you think would happen if you gave a dog if you accidentally, you've been feeding goat's milk and accidentally you took some I don't know, cow's milk and gave it to a puppy?
What would happen?
I don't think anything very particularly dramatic would happen. I don't think that you'd get a panic.
Well, it's not as good as for their digestive.
Well, it's a sign you watch out for some diarrhea, isn't it? If you see some diarrhea, then you know what's going on and just don't worry about it. What do you do if you've got a dog that's got diarrhea? And you don't know what the cause of it is?
How old of a dog?
Good question. 5 days.
Oh, I don't know. What do you do?
I'd give it some canned pumpkin. Try and firm up the poop. Because those dogs typically at 5 days haven't got internal parasites, but they've just got a bit of diarrhea. I mean,
now on puppies, when they're like 5, 6, 7 weeks old, 8 weeks old, and you've got diarrhea, my answer is always probiotics. that they chew up.
And make sure your worming's on schedule.
Yes, always.
And then test for
always make sure your worming schedule's going on every 2 weeks.
And test for Toxicity and Giardia because they're very, very common. Especially if you've had them before, you know that they're there on your premises, and it just seems like this litter right now. There's 4 puppies. The poops is perfect.
A breeze, yeah. Oh,
perfect
now knock on wood.
Yeah, no kidding.
No,
But it can change.
Yeah, you better knock on wood over there. Because it can change in a blink of an eye.
Frenchy frenzy. I gave activated charcoal when my dog ate a tiny frog. I swear it saved a life. How did you get the dog to take the activated charcoal? Tell us, Frenchy frenzy. I'd like to know.
Because frogs can make them so sick.
Yep.
Ooh. Goodness.
How do you get HCG for dogs? What is HCG? Frenchy frenzy. How do you get HCG? I don't know what HCG is. Tell us what HCG is. I'm sorry, we don't know what HCG is.
HCG?
HCG. No idea.
How do you get it?
Yeah, how do you get it? Well, it must be some kind of medicine because they say vet with a question mark. They'll tell us.
Come on, Nacho, you got the answer.
Hayden says, I have a tragic experience today. Mum ate 2 pups. What could have caused this? I'm at fault and sick about it. Yes.
Oh, I know.
So,
goodness sakes.
My guess is that this was fairly, these puppies had not been around for more than a day or 2. So let's talk a little bit. I mean, this is...
Is she under anesthetic? Is that what happened? You know, because when you bring them home and Mama's under anesthetic and she does not know what those babies are, first time Mama, oh my goodness, yeah, that could happen.
So let's talk a little bit about this. So here's the things that can go wrong.
I hate that
Typically, these things don't happen 5 days in. They happen 24 hours in, or maybe even 5 hours in. So the first thing is when you introduce mum and babies, you need to be there. And you need to make sure that she knows what's going on and she's doing the right things.
You need to introduce the babies. But you need to give mama at least an hour, a couple hours of just...
After C-section. If they've had a natural whelp, they can have the puppies immediately. What Tammy's talking about is effects of anesthesia. So the things that can cause this would be anesthesia, which is a typical one when you've had a C-section. They're loopy. Number 2 would be eclampsia because they don't have enough.
That's why you also don't put your face down in there with mama
That's exactly right. Yeah. Eclampsia would be another one where their calcium levels are messed up and that can cause them to act loopy. And the third one is they're freaked out, don't know what the hell's going on. They don't want you around. And that's the one where you might get bit. Like Tammy says, don't put your face up there to the bitey part. With a French Bulldog, you know, since he's got such a short muzzle, it can't hardly bite you. But a German Shepherd, different deal.
He said something on here.
Yes.
While you're talking.
So, well, I'll get to it. I'm going to go down the list. But what we do is we introduce mum to babies one at a time, and we do it carefully, and we can...
In my hand like this, just like this, and it's usually the back end, and I've got its legs all tucked in, and I'll say, oh, mama, look, and then I'll happen to turn it around to the face part and just keep holding that baby in my hands with its legs tucked in and let her smell, and then I'll put the baby over there on her nipple and say, oh, mama, you know, beautiful baby.
And maybe put some peanut butter on their bums if she's not licking it so she can lick it. Right. Take it. So what do you do?
It's a slow process, but it's well worth it.
Now, I did have somebody last week who called me up about an aggressive mum. And so what I said to them was, she's still being aggressive. I said, okay.
Which is not very often at all.
Not very often. I said, if she continues to be aggressive, you've got 2 choices here. You muzzle her or you take the babies away from her. So you give her, if you don't win this battle within the first 48 hours, you're not winning the battle, right? She has to accept her puppies in the first 48 hours. And almost always they accept puppies almost immediately. Even newborn mums coming out of anesthesia who don't know what the F's going on still do a great job. But you know, you've got to, if she's going to be aggressive, you have to win this battle. Get her out on a blanket, get her to see her babies, put babies on her, hold her down so she can't get up. And if she's misbehaving, do what Tammy does to me, smack on the face.
Well, sometimes just words tells her that it's not good.
We don't want you to be we don't want you to be mean to your dogs. We don't want you to be beating up on dogs. But
if you just know, the tone of your voice will let her know she's not doing something
Most dogs want to please you. And so the way they please you is to get the reaction out of you they want, which is to be loved on and be said they're doing a good job. And so they don't like being reprimanded. And that, just like your kids, this can work. The crossover between human fertility and dog is kind of crazy, like the things that boost fertility for women do for dogs sometimes. Progesterone and HCG shots, big in the IVF circle. Okay, well, there are shots you can give to dogs to produce and drop more eggs. And progesterone or something like that, I think, is the product. You have to go research, but there are shots that some of these repo vets do use. I don't have any experience with it.
Somebody said something with seizures.
Yeah, we'll get to this soon. Fantasy book writer, what about a mum that doesn't clean her pup's rear well? I feel like I clean them so much they got little raw, but the poop gets stuck and dry. I don't know what to do. Well, that's a good question. So, Tammy, what do you do in this situation?
Well, the peanut butter trick.
There you go.
But she said it was pretty hard to clean,
Yep.
meaning that it was lumpy.
Probably.
So
yep. Poops get stuck and dried.
Mm-hmm,
yep.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason for this would be, number one reason would be you've got fluffy dogs, long-haired dogs, and you need to go cut. And I say clip the hair around the anus.
Be very careful.
Yeah, just clip the hair, cut it short around their anus, so they don't have a lot of hair sitting back. It'll grow back.
We've had puppies where they don't have hair there, and it's dried up poop under their tail.
Inverted tails?
Them up.
Inverted tails?
Well, no, I'm talking about their tails.
Yes.
And so then when you finally realize that, we've got a problem here, it's hard and it's closed up. What you do is you go to the kitchen sink or the bathroom sink, warm water, let that run back there, even cup your hand on that puppy's little bottom where the water, where it makes a little pool in your hand of water, and soak that and let the water run on that, and then open that up, and then you're able to clean that off, and that so much better than wipe. The hair's not being pulled, it just soaks it and runs right off.
Yes.
So, and then mama's cleaning it. And if mama's still not cleaning it, put the peanut butter back there, just a little bit,
and
not much.
And Neosporin can't hurt if it's raw.
If it's raw, then
mum licks it off.
Good.
That's what you want to do anyway. So Neosporin, if she's not licking it off, it'll help it. If mum's licking it off, well, it's going to work anyway. So Neosporin, that's right. Do you know anything about idiopathic tremors in French bulldogs?
Who? What?
Idiopathic.
What's that?
Idiopathic means that you don't know what the cause of it is. That's what idiopathic means. It means that idiopathic is a tremor. So this is an interesting one. So you need to probably tell us a bit more about what the tremors are. So, you could see head tilting. That's a fairly common thing. Most dogs get over that. Sometimes it's an ear infection that's causing it.
Yeah, ear infection will cause a puppy to lean its head sideways or,
Right. Dogs that have large foreheads and domed heads, they tend to be hydrocephalic, and those dogs can have problems, brain-related issues that may go away or may not. Nothing you can do about this. If this is a French bulldog that is, only a few months old, I think all you can do is just see what happens. If this is a dog that's got, so you say it's idiopathic, meaning that nobody knows what the answer is. Well, if it's an older dog, like it's a year old or 2 or 5 years old, then there's things like brain tumors that it could definitely be. And then if it's diagnosed, you have an MRI. But you've got to stop yourself before you ever go down this path to decide what you're going to do if there is a brain tumor. Are you going to have surgery done? And what might that surgery cost? And what's the outcome likely to be? I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. What I'm saying is don't just say the vet says, oh, no, we can do brain surgery in a dog, give you a bill for $20,000.
Get a second opinion, please.
Yeah, well, at least get yourself armed with what's going on here. But I mean, if it's
Google it.
Idiopathic could be that the dog got into some kind of poisons. If that's short-lived, those things should either the dog dies or it survives it. But if you've got something where this dog never had this problem before and the dog's 4 years old, I would suspect the next thing to do is have an MRI done. Rhonda Lee says no onions. I think I've heard that before.
Yeah.
No onions.
Yeah.
Okay. Why is it coated?
There's some steak bones that you don't want to give either. Anytime you cook a chicken bone, do not ever give that to a dog. Don't give pork chops, bones. I even gave a T-bone to a dog one time, and it split and went up on the roof of her mouth, and we had to go have that pulled out. That was awful. It was in an area that we couldn't reach, and she wasn't going to let us. And that was a Lhasa Apso that we'd had.
Why is it, Colin says, why is it that cow's milk is bad for dogs, but goat's milk is good for them? And I think somebody, here's Nacho.
Yeah,
goat's milk is
Nacho
often,
said, yeah.
because of its high lactose content, which can lead to digestive problems. Exactly. So gas, diarrhea, and bloating.
Nacho answered that earlier.
Yep, right.
Yeah.
Yep. It says, it goes into great detail. It's generally better for dogs because it contains smaller fat globules and different A2 beta casein proteins, which are easier to digest and less likely to trigger allergies. And that's interesting, as A2 beta carotene, because I know that the milk that you like comes from Brahms, and that is has less A2 in it, doesn't it? They claim it for that.
I love Brahms milk.
It's good stuff. Somebody says Pedialyte here. I think we're talking probably back to this. What do you do if a dog taking something? So the problem with the Pedialyte, I had a problem with the Pedialyte. The problem is if you've got something that's toxic in their stomach, you've got two choices here: get it out or bind it up with activated charcoal. If it's really toxic, then you really want to get it out of there or get it bound up. And that's what activated charcoal does. It binds up stuff and kind of contains it.
Okay, somebody's having Frenchies in 9 days or so.
Okay,
answer that one. It's the very end.
How many pups anyone had off one stick when breeding naturally? Oh, okay. So we're talking about one stick. We mean one AI breeding naturally.
No,
Well,
not
one
stick.
One mating.
One mating.
No, I know the answer to that one for us. 14. Labrador.
Yeah, Labradors. We've done that. Yeah.
Yep.
The one that's having babies.
Just says no. He Googled and pasted the thing on the fat globules and all that. Good for you, right?
The person that's fixing to have babies.
Well, I'll get down to it. If I jump out of order, then I don't know where I am. Breeding natural, that's a good one. Well, okay, so it's, all right.
He didn't mean that breeding natural is great.
No, he's just asking about. Right.
If you ever breed natural, make sure both of them do not have, that you do the brucellosis test before that's ever done.
So
we don't have a sale going on with my breeder supply,
no, I
do
don't
we?
think so.
That went away. Yeah.
Frenchy Frenzy says the question about HCG was someone up there talking about it. I think it's used sometimes to get them to go into heat. Well, there are products out there that do get a dog to go into heat. There's products that get a dog to go into heat, like PG600, which we don't recommend that you use unless you've got a dog that's hasn't had a heat for a few years. And there's products like progesterone that I think produce more eggs. Kevin Conway. Oh, Hayden says they're day 3, 2 morels, 2 lilacs. She took the 2 lilacs. Yeah, talking about the dog that ate the puppies. Yeah.
Get to the one that's fixing to have babies.
Okay, get down there, Tammy. Love my pups. I feed raw. This is from Kevin Conway. I feed raw with a little kibble to my exotic bulldogs. Do you think certain kibbles can stop females from taking during breeding and also cause missed heat cycles? I very much doubt it. So the question would be here is, you're talking about things that would be basically a what do you call a pill? What is a pill? It's a anti-pregnancy. What do you call that? Someone's well, I can't think of the right word for it. But look, if you thought that was the case, then we'd all be taking this stuff to start ourselves getting pregnant. Nah, I'm not buying it.
Okay.
I'm buying it. Tell me, wants me to run down here to somewhere else.
Yes.
Where is it?
Probably right in here somewhere.
Sasha Gray, hello. My French is due in about 9 days. Do you think it's too early for her to lose her mucus plug, or is that about normal? No, it's fine. Mucus plug might be 2 weeks beforehand. It might be 2 hours beforehand. You may never see it. All it is a jelly-like substance that's in the cervix to stop bacteria getting up in there.
Slime.
The slimy, kind of snotty, tends to be fairly clear. It might be a bit pinkish. But as the cervix opens up, it drops out, and that's all it is. And do you have to put something back in its place? No, don't even worry about it. It probably means that your dog's definitely pregnant. That's the good news here. All right, so now we'll go back up here. How do you tell if a mum has preeclampsia? Patrick Warren asked that question. Well, If it's preeclampsia, it would mean it's pre-showing any signs that it's got clampsia. And the answer is you wouldn't know. The only way you'd know, I think, would be that you'd have to have a blood test done, look at calcium levels, and nobody's going to do that unless you have a dog that has a history of this. Then maybe that makes some sense, and you've already got your vet involved who would know the right answer to this. But I think that the signs are a dog's wigging out and acting peculiar and strange within a day either side of whelp, or it's got a lot of milk on board, and it's like in the first few days that you've got to watch a dog that's acting weird, kind of acting skittish, getting wobbly, getting, maybe those would all be signs that clampsia is an issue.
Can we get some thumbs up, pretty please?
So Nigel says just take precautions measures so you don't have eclampsia. So the problem here is that one of the things you'd think would be to go give that dog a bunch of calcium before it ever goes to whelp. Apparently that's not the right thing to do because that can mess up this whole calcium cycle. So to pre-treat with calcium prior to whelp I don't think is what's recommended here. But what we do is we do put some cottage cheese on mum's food for the first, 3 or 4 days? Mm-hmm. It helps them with their appetite, and I don't know how well it's absorbed, but we've never seen eclampsia in a French Bulldog, but I think it's fairly uncommon in French. I don't think it's because we're particularly smart about this. My mama, National says, my mama dog doesn't likes to clean the pee, but as soon as the puppy poops, she stops licking it. So I have a box of wipes just in case. Yeah, well,
it's handy to keep a box of little wipes, yeah, right. So, because they can get messy.
Patrick Warren says, what do you think about the ovulation detector DOD2? I think you're talking about the Dobrinsky, which is this thing with a probe on it that measures resistivity of the mucus inside the vaginal canal. And I can tell you what I think of it. I think it's absolute crap. Used to have one, I got rid of it very quickly. It was very confusing. I think it's one of those things that can actually be detrimental, where you think you know what's going on, you flat don't know. Now, other people may say different on this, but I have had a Dobrinsky, and I have had some experience with it, and I actually took the time and effort to build my own Dobrinsky to see if I could do a better job at it. And the answer is that I could never get a really firm correlation between resistivity of the mucus versus where they were in the heat cycle. Not a fan of it. So those of you who spent $300, $400, $500 on Dobrinsky are not going to like that answer. Sell it on Facebook. Try and get your money back.
Hey, good evening. Who's that?
Don't know yet. You want me to jump down to the bottom?
Well, I need my phone. You need to get a different pad or something for questions.
You can look at it with me. Just
no,
go down
I can't because you've got your face in it all the time.
Paper Trail says soak that bottom. We're talking about the poop. Good idea. So Naturalize says my male dog is my heat detector. He shows me signs of what's going on. So I think that's
your male dogs will definitely let you know.
I think one of the most useful things is to have a male dog around and see how the female behaves towards the male dog, because we've got male dogs who'll try and
like a week before breeding due date, but before bleeding, he'll let you know when a female's fixing to come in the heat also.
Frenchie, this is the dog with the idiopathic tremors, 11 weeks old, only during sniffing, head bobbles and shaking, otherwise completely normal. Well, then, I mean, if it's only when the dog's sniffing, then I don't think this is too serious, if it would be my guess, because I can't think what would be going on with sniffing that would be anything, only doing that would be anything that is brain-related.
Maybe its little sense is just so strong that he just shakes his head.
Well, one thing that you mentioned before was the ear thing.
Yeah.
And the nose and the ears are connected together.
So maybe when he's sniffing, it's directed to his ear and it hurts.
Eustachian tube, which is the link between the two, might be sore, might be something like that, maybe.
Go to the vet and have it checked out.
Certainly look in their ears, right. Sasha Gray. Let's have a look. Fashion forward mum, do I need to give trot drill every 2 weeks for new puppies? I would. I would give it 2, 4, and 6 weeks before you get onto the safeguard. Absolutely, give it 3 times. Yep.
3 times a day?
No. 3 times.
3 times what?
I'd give Trotrazil at 2 weeks, 4 weeks, and 6 weeks. One time each time.
Okay. Well, I know the safeguard's 3 days in a row.
Well, safeguard
So
3 days in a row
when
starts
you
6
said
weeks.
3 times, it was
fair
like,
enough.
okay,
Fair
why?
enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
No,
Because you're saying things, reading things, and saying it out loud, and it's not
give it one time.
connecting.
Start at 2 weeks one time, 4 weeks one time, 6 weeks one time. FWMS says, I used to think the more you bred, the more they will have. Someone told me one stick, she can have 10 plus pups. Well, I mean, so I think what you're asking here is it better to do one mating versus 2 when you're trying to get a dog pregnant? The answer is I would definitely do 2 days apart. I don't think there's any downside.
Every other day.
Yes. There is a downside.
Like it'd be the one day and then skip the second day, do the next day. So it'd be the third day. Because you skip 2, and then 3.
Right.
Day 3. Yeah.
If you start just breeding every day, then what happens is that the semen count for the male drops. And then by the time let's say you've done that for 5 days, the 5th day when you want to actually get the dog pregnant, it's the right time, the semen count's gone to crap.
You're so slow. People are answering it for you.
I hope it's normal. Okay. Let's have a look.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what this is about, the snot.
The snot is with the plug.
Oh.
Yeah, you've got so many people doing answering that you're...
Okay. Yeah, so the color of the mucus that's produced from a mucus plug tends to be snotty. It's hanging off. You don't see very much of it. You don't see it every day. It's just dog goes out to pee and you see this stuff hanging off the dog. Don't worry about it. And if it's red, it's a bit of blood in it, don't worry about it. If it's a little bit of green, don't worry about it. If you start seeing a green discharge, that's a whole different story. But the mucus plug, whatever color it is, I wouldn't get too worried about it. Such Grace says, yes, it looks like snot. That is the mucus plug. Don't worry about it. Natural Line says, my dog, when she's preggo, she always gets goo and sticky back there, but never want to see green goo. Yep, right. Christopher Harrison, I have 2-week-old Frenchies and they are having a little issue pooping. I've done the enema, Kara syrup, and still having issues. What do I do? Continue on with the enemas. You can do up to 3 a day.
Well, also it's diarrhea, or is it the opposite? Okay.
No, it's probably the opposite. No, this is not pooping. So not pooping.
Not pooping.
So one of the things that can happen is if you are giving formula, if you're feeding milk, you don't have it thin enough, and you dehydrate a puppy, that can cause a problem. You can lift up the skin on the back of the puppy's neck, and if it stays up, doesn't sink back down, that puppy's a bit dehydrated. That can cause problems with it. But there are products that you can give as well. I don't know what they are without looking at it to make dogs poop, but I would just do the enemas more frequently.
It's past time.
Emily says the mucus can also regenerate, so don't be alarmed if you see it again. Okay, fair enough. Yep. How do you get mum to produce more milk? Were you telling?
Nothing.
Oh, how do you get the mum to produce more milk? Give her more calories. So my standard Doper boy says my standard poodles are 6 weeks old today. They get their first parvo shot tomorrow. Good. Any tips would be greatly appreciated. Well,
safeguard at 6 weeks.
Yep, safeguard at 6 weeks. Shots
3
at 6 weeks.
3 days in a row.
Yep.
Every 2 weeks.
Right. We're going to run through these real quick because we're over time.
Yeah.
Well, my 2 weeks old pups all took it well, but one acted like she was coughing to death. Yeah. So the problem with the worming medications, depending on what you're using, the puppies don't like it and they'll gag on it. Don't worry about it. If they're not like having a good time with it, then I mean the next thing, a little bit of water in their mouth, give them don't overdo it, but a bit of water in their mouth can help get this thing to go down. And Natural, I recommend let Tami read the questions and James answer it. I saw it works best last couple of episodes, Bonnie and Clyde team. Okay, yep.
Mm-hmm. He needs to squeeze the money out of his pocket and go get an iPad or something.
If the mother is under anesthesia, the puppies need hand fed? How fast do puppies need to eat after C-section? Hours. You can have a puppy that cannot be fed for 4 or 5 hours, they'll be fine. So Some vets will put the puppies on mum right there in the recovery room. Our vet doesn't do that. We don't do anything until we get home. So it's probably a couple of hours before puppies are getting fed after they've been born. Fine. Christopher House, can you do it too much with the enemas? No, not. I mean, more than 3 times a day, I think would be too much. How long do puppies stay in heat for a Frenchie? Any dog is the same cycle.
Puppies.
Well, how long does heats go on for a Frenchie? Mine was 20 days of bleeding. That's long.
I've heard that.
It's long, but
it's not unusual.
Not unusual, right? Most dogs bleed from day 1 to about day 11, and then they start lightening up. But some dogs bleed all the way through it.
Just like after they have puppies, they bleed for a long time.
Right.
And some quit early. Not every Frenchie is alike.
Natural says I'd feed puppies at least 2 hours after labor or C-section. Yeah, I mean, I think the sooner you can get calories into them, the better off you are. I mean, one of the things you've got, especially with dogs that are born through C-section, is they have a lot of fluid in their lungs. And so they've got to get their fluid out, and they've got some anesthesia as well. So they've got to get rid of all of that before they can really have a decent meal and not get aspirated on milk. So I wouldn't push this too much. Again, what we do is we put the puppies in an incubator, we bring them home, and typically they're asleep in the incubator and they're quite happy. But if puppies are crying in the incubator, then I think it means either you've got it too hot, too cold, or they're hungry. And right. Sasha Gray says, you guys are doing a great job. We appreciate both of you. We'll appreciate it too. All right. So, all right. Do you want my nose?
Yes.
Okay.
You're so gross.
Oh, I am gross.
Yeah.
All
hey,
right.
everybody. Cody has a litter on the ground. And so if you need information about his puppies or information on how to get a hold of him, his phone number is 806-664-0173. Or if you want to call me, you can't get a hold of him, you can call me at 580-799-1910.
All right. So Dope Boy says, how much did you say your standard poodle was? So I'm not
How
sure.
much?
Well, I'm not sure if
How much she weighs?
What's her weight?
Well, the last time you weighed her was probably a month ago, so she weighed at 43 pounds.
Right. And is she 9 months old now?
Oh, she was 42 pounds.
What does she weigh now? How old is she now?
She is probably, well, that was at 8 months, so she's 9 months now.
So that's an interesting one. How do you know how much your dog will weigh when it's fully grown? And the answer is that typically it's fully grown at 1 year and it's half grown at 6 months and it's 3/4 grown at 9 months. So that dog at 42 pounds at 9 months is going to put on another 15 pounds and it's going to be a 57 pound, 60 pound dog. And Tammy thinks I'm full of crap. We'll see. We will see who is right in a year from now. We'll do a weighing.
I want you to weigh her tonight.
Okay, I'll do that. Right. How much does she cost in terms of money? I don't know that question. I'm not allowed to know those kind of things.
That's mine.
It was a lot of money for that
and it's
poodle.
None of his business.
And why did Tammy get it? Because she really wanted that poodle, and that's fun.
I've always had little toy poodles. Never had. And I'm getting at an older age now that if I had a question about what breed would I like to pick up,
what would it be?
It's that standard poodle.
It wouldn't be a French bulldog? You traitor.
I have tons of French bulldogs. I get French bulldogs all the time.
Fashion Forward Mum says, wow, she's huge. Well,
she's not huge.
Go unhook her.
She's not huge.
Put her up here for a second.
She's small.
Just
she's
small. Put her up here for a second. So you can see.
She's all woolly and she looks.
Just put her up here.
Somebody asked me the other day if she was a Labradoodle, and I said no, I haven't had her clipped in a long time, so she's all grown.
Look, people aren't dropping off, and we're going to go a little bit long on this, and we always do that. So I'd say let's just show her off because she's a really nice dog.
Oh, she's.
Standard poodles are huge. Well, you're actually right, Nachalana. I mean, I think that they can go 100
Cody
pounds.
Wayne had one that weighed 80 pounds, but she's
a
not
male
weigh
can go 100 pounds, I think. So that's interesting. Now you've got a toy poodle that might weigh 4 pounds, and a full-size big male standard poodle that might go 100 pounds. You know, it is. Yeah.
Okay, but turn the camera this way. I'm 5 foot. This is her head here. Her body's here. So she's a small standard poodle. Sit. And because if she was taller, kind of overpowering me, and that's what I did not want. So I wanted a small standard poodle. But this is her. This is little Gucci.
Hi, Gucci.
Say out. Say, oh, I'm special.
So she's full of life.
Yeah.
She when she goes outside, she's so graceful. She leaps up in the air.
I was like a deer.
She's like a deer.
And then she reminds me of that cartoon on TV. What's that cartoon where that dog is jumping with it? Just real graceful little cartoon character. And yeah. But see how woolly her face is. You can see her eyes. You'll show everybody your eyes.
Frenchie, do you have a video posted of Cassian yet? No, I'm going to get on to Cody. He's supposed to get that done for me. He hasn't done it, so I'll do it.
Well, you've got a picture somewhere.
Somebody says nothing small about her. There isn't anything small about her.
Well, if you saw a regular standard that's not a smaller standard, then you would definitely know she is a small standard.
Yo, whatever. Yeah.
James just needs to go to a dog show and see. That's my bracelet.
She's not fully grown yet, Tammy. She's not a small dog.
Quit.
I love her. She's a really nice dog, and she's got a great personality.
What she is a phantom merle. And
what does that mean?
Well, it means her tan points. Phantom means she's got her tan points above her eyes, and she's got it on her back end, and then on her legs, her tan points. And she is beautiful.
But she is a merle, isn't she?
Oh, yeah, she's a merle.
I'm not sure why they call her a phantom merle.
A phantom is one word. The other one is merle, so she's both.
Well, if it was a phantom merle in a Frenchie, you'd call it a cryptic merle. You wouldn't even see it.
Right. Poodles and on their brindle, everything's worded a little bit different.
Yeah, right. Fair enough. Right.
Stop biting. No.
She's short compared to a standard I've seen. So that's someone who said that.
Right.
She's very curly. She is.
Oh gosh, her coat's unbelievable. It's just wonderful. And the breeder that had her just says, "Oh my gosh." She says she's just.
Dope Boy says, "Changed my life. My male 3-year-old is 60 pounds. 1-year-old female is 40 pounds. Yes. So she's a female, and she's very soft. Very soft with her mouth, but she does like to mouth.
She likes to mouth.
We're trying to get
that's
a
a poodle thing, because my sister does have
Labrador.
Golden doodles.
Are they retrievers? Poodles?
Yes, they're hunting dogs.
Yeah, they're working dog, right?
James, you're not helping, please. No. But they are hunting dogs, and they're super smart. But my sister has the golden doodles, and they're mouthy as well. So I think that's the.
But you know what? They are. I hope Lady's not watching. They are nowhere near as friendly as this dog is here.
Well,
they're very standoffish.
Just to you, because you're so weird.
No. Well, most dogs like me. Not all dogs, but most dogs like me.
No.
I mean, so I don't know how you all feel about this. For me, one of the wonderful things about dogs is their companionship.
It's so pretty.
They're so loving, unconditional love. They want to be around you. They want to please you. And so for me, if I see a dog that is not wanting to be around me, I don't like that. If I see a dog that's aggressive towards other dogs or humans, I don't like that either. So, she is overly friendly, but that we're going to work out. We're going to work that out, right?
She thinks.
And she's.
Don't let her chew on your hand.
Yeah, I know.
So, you're the world's worst.
Well, I know. That's so that you're exactly right. She looks at her here. She wants.
No.
But she listens, especially to Tammy, and she does.
Because James doesn't make her mind.
No, I don't. No, I like her to play with her, but she's got a hand on my hand here, like save me. Anyway, right. So I think we're about done here. Let's see if there are more questions. Fashion for months, I had a black and blue Merle pom. She was so happy, so pretty. So Tammy's mum used to have poms, and they were just nice little dogs.
Yeah, she had a blue one. Remember, what was her name? Can't remember.
Dope Boy has a female apricot and a white male.
Yeah, I've had I had an apricot small one. I had 2 of them, matter of fact, little poodles.
Yep.
But poodles and Frenchies, they're so smart.
So Dope Boy says my female apricot is an
No.
AKC champion from her dad, imported from Sweden. So Dope Boy, you know a lot more about poodles, or Tammy knows a bit about poodles. I don't know much about poodles. We did have some toy poodles some time ago, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
And there was one of that little. What was that one little dog?
You're thinking of the Shih Tzu.
No, it's one little dog.
You and I didn't have toy poodles together.
What was that one dog that we had that died? It was a really pretty little dog.
That was a
poodle?
Chihuahua. No.
Okay, yeah, that's Chihuahua. We've had lots of breeds over the years. We dog people. We dog people. You're lucky we dog people. Otherwise, we wouldn't put up with you, right?
Okay.
All right. I think that's the end of this.
And maybe James will reach in his pocket and go get an iPad so he can look at questions.
I've got an iPad.
I have my phone.
Here's your phone. There you go. Answer like she's
done.
She's trying to get the
James,
phone.
done.
Okay. All right. So I think at that point we are going to say good night to everybody.
Remember, if you want to know about Cody's litter, give me a call, 580-799-1910, or call Cody, 806-664-0173 on about his babies.
Yep. Bye, buddy.
Bye.